Welcome to the Texas Injection Molding episode 2 of our Tim Talks. Today I'm here with Butch Baker, who's our senior engineering and tooling manager, and we're going to talk about something that we encounter every day when we're working on new parts, and we're trying to develop a process on a new tool, and we're trying to make sure that cosmetically and the mechanical aspects of the parts are right and repeatable. We do what's called a gate seal study. So Butch, I think maybe you could start with, what is a gate seal study?
Well, that's a good question, Jeff. And the gate seal study is critical to the development of any injection molding process. The gate seal study will determine when your gate is frozen and you're no longer putting any more plastic into the cavity.
Okay.
So typically when there's a couple times we'll do a gate seal study. Obviously, like you mentioned, during the development of a process on a new mold or a new project, but also sometimes if we have some sort of defect, maybe warpage is happening out there on the floor, or we have a short shot. And the first step that I'm going to do to root cause that is understand when that gate is closed off, when we can't put any more plastic into that cavity, because at that point, once the gate is frozen, you're done.
Yeah.
The part is what it's going to be.
Doesn't matter how much pressure you put behind it, it is frozen solid, and there's no more plastic.
Exactly. All you're going to do is flash the runner at that point.
Right.
So what we'll do is we'll initially develop our injection process, pack time to where the part looks good cosmetically and dimensionally it measures well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll turn that pack time to 0 seconds, and we'll increase that
pack time. That's just where you're putting pressure on the flow of the runner.
Yes. Yeah. So once you've got the plastic into the cavity, you're applying pressure from the ram of the injection molding machine, and it is putting injection pressure into the cavity, right? And it's important to do that correctly, because if you don't, you impact the mechanical properties of the resin, right? So if you got a mechanical part, it could fail in the field if we don't understand this gate seal properly. And we'll go down, we'll turn that pack time to 0. The pack pressure will remain the same, but we'll take the time to 0.
Right.
And we will physically weigh that part, and we will increase that pack time, say a half a second or a second at a time, until the part weight itself stops picking up weight. And you can see one of our examples here, this guy here, is pack time was at 0 seconds, and we kept increasing it and picking up part weight until about 6 seconds. And then that's when we know the gate is closed, right? It's frozen, the part is what it's going to be.
You know you've got a good part, and as far as your process, your recipe, you've identified where it is in the recipe that makes a good quality part.
As best as we can with that particular material in that process. Now, what does happen from time to time is the gate gets frozen and we're still making a bad part.
Right.
So now we have to figure out how can we increase that gate seal time from, say, 6 seconds to 8 seconds, right? Maybe the part's too short, or it's got a short shot, or there's a void, or the warpage isn't the way it's supposed to be. There's a few things that we can do, and one of the things we can do is we can evaluate the tool design, and we can, in this case, we could increase the gate size, right? You increase the volume, it takes longer to freeze that off. We can also look at different ways to add heat around that gate. We could increase the injection speed, which lowers the viscosity of a resin. We can increase the melt temperature, the mold temperature. It's all a bunch of different ways to make sure we generate more heat into the resin, right? Which takes longer to solidify. And we can continue to do that, and maybe we go, in this particular case, we go from a 6 second pack time for a gate seal to maybe 8 seconds, and now we have a good part. So those are some of the things that I would use to root cause if somebody comes to me and says we have a short shot, or we have warpage, or we have a void. My first thing is I want to know when that gate's frozen, because at that point we really can't do anything to that part quality after it's frozen.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. This is something we invite you to come in to as we talk shop, and these are things that are happening every day, and I'll try to continue to bring our audience into conversations that we deal with every day. And so stay tuned for our next Tim Talk.